was the sort of record-breaking storm that felt like punishment, crippling transportation infrastructure, burying cars, stranding people, and destroying one very well-known stadium this weekend on the way to shattering 100-year-old marks for snowfall. And it was deadly as well. At least 14 people lost their lives in crashes or from exposure. And to assess the fallout and tell us where the worst is headed next, here's Chris Bury.
In northern Indiana, a powerful combination: bitter cold, blustery winds, and dangerous drifting snow, all making travel a nightmare. The ferocious blizzard led to countless accidents like this, and it left at least 70 cars and trucks stranded on and along highways. We met a tow truck driver who'd been pulling cars and trucks out of trouble for 17 straight hours.
I ran into one lady down there and she was just in tears. She could not function in the car. It's just really disorientating down there.
We're driving along US 30 in northern Indiana. A wind is coming in from Lake Michigan to our north, blowing straight across the highway. And even though the plows have been out today, so much snow is coming and the winds are moving so quickly that the roads remain fairly treacherous. Along the side of the road, we found Megan Reed, who'd come back to the car she abandoned in the storm last night. How did you get in the ditch?
I couldn't see the road. I couldn't tell if it was grass or the road.
Sean Cunningham, who shot these pictures on his phone, had left Fort Wayne heading for Chicago when he and his family got stranded, spending a scary night in their car before they were dug out today.
We were very lucky. We ended up having enough gas to make it through the night, so the car was on most of the night, and therefore we and the kids were warm.
The trip that normally takes them less than 4 hours had become a 24-hour ordeal.
Visibility was very limited at times, limited to 10 or 15 feet. The winds were extreme, probably felt like they were 40 to 50 miles an hour. And there was just a ton of blowing snow, so it was very difficult to see anything.
At least 3 Indiana counties declared emergencies. Some roads were so bad, firefighters blocked access.
Right now, it's just a safety issue that they need to open the roads and get people home.
The storm began its march across the Midwest Friday evening, and before it was over, 2 feet had fallen on parts of Wisconsin and Minnesota. In Chicago alone, more than 1,000 flights were canceled at O'Hare and Midway airports.
My flight from Chicago to Cleveland has gotten canceled, and it's rebooked for Tuesday afternoon.
And even as far south as Asheville, North Carolina, kids were having snowball fights. In Shiloh, Illinois, along this stretch of road, it was one truck, one SUV, one car after another plowing off the roadway. And as with every big storm lately, those ubiquitous YouTube videos chronicling everything from snow rafting, snow drifting, and even snow hoops. But the surest sign that this storm meant business, that remarkable video from inside the Metrodome in Minneapolis. The inflatable roof collapsing under the weight of the 4 million pounds of snow.
It's kind of sad, you know, we're season ticket holders.
Eager ticket holders like this busload from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, found themselves with no game to go to. Instead, the Minnesota Vikings and New York Giants played tonight in Detroit.
And we're stuck here for however long. Yep.
The dome collapsed.
Who won the game? Huh?
Yeah, our bus driver won't take us to Detroit.
Today, workers continue to shovel snow off the roof and make repairs, hopefully in time for next week's game.
They'll cut new fabric and put it up.
I'm excavating.
As Minnesota and the Midwest dig out, the severe weather keeps coming. Extreme cold that's plunging temperatures down into the single digits. Add gusting winds, and the chill factor is dipping far below zero.
The heavy snow with our storm impacted only much of the plains in the Midwest. The cold behind this storm is impacting about half the country.
In fact, the cold could reach from Montana to Maine, North Dakota to as far south as central Florida. Today, green beans were being harvested before they could freeze, and tonight, orange growers are struggling to keep their crops from being destroyed in the bitter cold.
Because it's got to stay warm. This is the only thing we can do.
The air mass behind this storm system is brutally cold. Certainly, it's the coldest that we've seen in quite some time, and for many, it may be the coldest of the season.
Tonight, with 14 dead in the wake of this storm, much of the country is bracing for another bitter dose, and we're still a full week away from the official start of winter. I'm Chris Bury for Nightline near Valparaiso, Indiana.